to be making units out of those 5 factories and try to out-unit produce Flash. And by doing that, he can out-contain him because Flash basically won't be able to have the same amount of units to defend all the fronts that Fantasy will be able to attack on with the unit advantage. But Flash is Flash, and he's obviously a smart guy, and he knows this must be coming. Now we're starting to see Fantasy put down a starport as well, and I don't expect to see Race come out of that one. I do expect to see dropships purely because, and there's a control tower going on for Flashes, so we should see dropships coming from Flashes as well, but purely because of the Goliaths that were out early for Flash, it'd be unlikely that we would be seeing Race trying to be used as spotting. More likely to see buildings and or scan. He did get the early comp set for that matter, so he should have plenty of scans saved up, as well as he's got that new third base that'll have a comp set for sure as well. Now, a lot of vultures out for both players, so it looks like Flash is going to try to make some use of those. Going around back doors, sneaking around, staying outside the middle of the map, but they're going to be scouted by Fantasy, and Fantasy is more vultures. However, Flash now has the high ground, and Fantasy having trouble attacking him, but it looks like Fantasy is going to succeed in this attack and take out all of those vultures of Flash, and really, that's not too good of a thing for Flash. However, the 30% attack miss rate is working in Flash's favor, as he does a little bit more damage than he would normally. So we are going to see dropships coming out for Flash, and now he's getting up that factory count to 6 as well. I'd like to see. It looks like Fantasy's still on 6 only. He's getting a science facility up as well, so he's looking to get back into the upgrade game. And Flash already with a science facility completed. So Flash, I think, is going to stay ahead in upgrades at least until both players get to 3-3. At which point things will even out. So for now, Flash is going to have an advantage. It looks like Fantasy was actually going for a 4th base. It looks like it's going to have to be canceled, and Flash doing a very good job of stopping that from going up. At the same time, some vulture harassment going on at Flash's 6 o'clock expansion, taking out a few SCVs, but it looks like that's going to be cleaned up fairly quickly by Fantasy. So this game, man, I got to tell you, it's a lot slower than I was expecting it to be. However, both players showing that they want to play very safely and are very... they know the importance of this match, obviously. So because of that, maybe I should have expected safer play in order to win the game. All right. 2 or 3 dropships out already for Flash. It looks like 2. I thought I saw 3, maybe not. But at the same time, it looks like Fantasy is trying to prepare against this. He's starting to put down turrets at this point and trying to build that that wall. See both players at this point, because it's a 3-person map, they can't just divide the map in half. What they're looking to do is to divide the map in 2/3 to 1/3. By doing that, one player will most definitely have the advantage if they can take 2/3 of the map rather than half of the map. And it's easier to take 2/3 than half anyway because it's a 3-player map. So how do you take half of the 3-player map? You don't really. You'd go for 2/3. And Fantasy is the aggressor in this respect. And Flash is going to have to use those dropships to his advantage to prevent that from happening. All right, I got to take a quick breath here. I've been doing these 5 matches way too quickly. I'm starting to lose my voice. Okay, I'm back. And it looks like at this point, Fantasy taking out spider mines that Flash had put down. Again, securing 2/3 of the map rather than 1/3. And Flash can't let this happen. He's got to start making use. He's got to start pushing out. He's got to start making use of those dropships, and he's got to start pushing out with those tanks and Goliaths. 13 minutes in, it looks like we're starting to see the first big push. A lot of tanks out on the field. Those tanks are in a good position. Dropships going down as well. Fantasy is going to lose a lot of units here. And really, Flash has just divided Fantasy in half. And by doing that, he can now take out that entire top section. And he will be the one to have 2/3 map control versus Fantasy. 5 dropships out. My God, Flash is not messing around. He is using that air superiority, that mobility advantage that he gains with those dropships. And we're only seeing a couple of dropships for Fantasy. Fantasy is behind. He had the troop count advantage, but he didn't make use of it early on. He tried to by taking more bases, but Flash, with the mobility advantage, saw the weakness in Fantasy's build, and now he was able to take out a lot of units of Fantasy without taking heavy losses of his own, dropping all over. Oh, man, look at this. He's taking advantage of numbers here, and Fantasy is slowly losing map control. Flash has now got 3/4 of the map under control, and this is what I was talking about Glaive. You can go on in multiple areas on this map. A lot of turrets out on the field, but it doesn't matter. He's going to lose a couple of dropships, but at the same time, he's going to do a lot more damage because of those dropships. Taking out SCVs early on here already. Not early on. It's definitely late game. And he's got the +1 weapon upgrade. I don't even know if there are more. There are units. There's some crappy text scrolling across, so it's hard to see. It looks like he's got, yeah, +1 weapons up against, well, Fantasy's got +1 weapons. Flash also has +1. So they're actually even in upgrades. But look at this, taking out the supply line. Fantasy cannot defend against it. Flash is going to win this game for his team at this point. It looks like he has taken map control out of the question. Fantasy trying to get back in this game with his dropship play, but he can't. Flash just has more units, and Fantasy has lost so many units carelessly because he was going. What he did was he had only a few units spread out so thinly across the map. Flash took advantage of this, and he would drop a ton of units, so he wouldn't lose many units, and he would take out 3 very easily here and there, or he would take out a control group of vultures easily. And now, oh my God, look at the supply line that is going down. Fantasy going to try to drop at this point, and not even successful in that. He's not able to take it out, and he may lose a dropship. He's going to try to pick up some more units, but look at Flash coming in with more reinforcements. And GG! GG coming from Fantasy! Oh my God. Wow. Oh, everybody take a deep breath. Flash has won it. He messes up his 10-game win streak, but you know what? He is 11 for 12 games, and he wins the most important match for his team, the ace match. Very nicely done. Wow. Wow. Whew. I don't know about you guys, but I am out of breath after that series. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I am losing my voice. I got to stop commentating at this point. Next up, I don't know what I'm going to do. I may do the Hyuk versus Jadon game after all. I'll decide later. I still got to do my amateur match that I've been talking about, and I still got that special video that I'm going to make, so stay tuned. A lot of games still to come. Unemployment has its advantages if you make a lot of commentaries. See you guys in the next set. Hope you enjoyed it all. GG!
역사적인 기록은 계속 이어져가네요. 1선에서 KT가 SKT하고 T1을 제압하고 자 1위 자리를 굳히네요. 강팀들은 계속 만나는데 KT는 다 꺾어내고 있어요. 파죽지세죠. 그렇습니다. SK텔레콤 T1까지 지금 시즌 중에